'cause you quit me, baby.
Introducing Mr. Bullfrog Willard McGhee. Bullfrog is a blues singer and blues man, blues enthusiast, all of that, who now lives in Raleigh, North Carolina. He was born in Mercer County, West Virginia, moved around a little bit, finally settled in Raleigh after driving a cab in New Orleans for a spell. Raleigh is real nice, he said. Nice place to settle down to do his work. The Floyd Council Memorial Project. Raleigh is a few miles down the road from Chapel Hill, the birthplace of Floyd Council himself. Raleigh is also a few more miles down the road from Durham, where Floyd Council played his brand of blues many times with blues superstar Blind Boy Fuller. They played here in the old Hayti neighborhood. Raleigh's the headquarters for the Floyd Council Memorial Project. Its home is in a rock and blues museum in Moore Square downtown called Amplified Art. Ryan Miller, proprietor. Ryan has generously and kindly donated much of his room for this project. In the museum are photos and framed pictures of Floyd Council and many other important North Carolina blues musicians. So, who is this Floyd Council and what exactly is this project? Floyd Council is the Floyd in Pink Floyd. But nobody in Sanford knows this.
Well, that's pretty cool, though. In Sanford, they got somebody really famous buried here.
I didn't know that.
You're talking about rock and roll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That Pink Floyd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you know, they were named after a guy by the name of Floyd Council.
Yeah.
Okay.
Floyd Council was a blues man. He was born in Chapel Hill, North Carolina. 1911, I think. He recorded 7 songs with Blind Boy Fuller in 1937 and then 6 songs of his own.
We could only find 2 actual photos of Floyd Council himself. Well, you could say 3, but Bullfrog drew one of those.
He's an over-the-road truck driver. He settled in Sanford, North Carolina in the 50s. He's in the 54 phone book. I don't think he's in the 1950 phone book, so I'm not entirely sure when he got there. And he's a fantastic blues guitar player. Played a lot of fast runs.
Floyd Council died in Sanford, North Carolina, about 45 miles south of Raleigh in 1976. Sanford's a nice town of about 24,000, and it's known for its clay bricks. It's also known for the home of historic Wenger's Restaurant. We stepped inside to find out that nobody in Sanford knows that a big celebrity, is buried just down the road. Sanford residents could tell you all about Dana Ham, a beautiful model from Sanford. But nobody knows about Pink Floyd's namesake.
Well, that's pretty cool, though. In Sanford, they got somebody really famous buried here.
I didn't know that.
He's currently buried in a forgotten graveyard without even so much as a headstone. The graveyard's located on Lower Moncure Road, just outside the city limits, across from an old abandoned church.
I talked with Nick Mason of the band. He's the Pink Floyd drummer.
Yeah.
And I brought that up to him one time about how that's pretty cool that the band was named after Floyd Council right down the road from us.
The big thing about that was that they were on one of these R&B records. It wasn't even dedicated to their work necessarily. It was just a single track, as far as I remember. And but it was just one of those really special moments where they just dipped in and thought, right, we need a name.
Syd Barrett came up with that name, and it came up on an album with Floyd Council's name in it, and it was near Pink Anderson. You know, you could go to the Piedmont of North Carolina and any day and see Pink Anderson and Floyd Council playing, and so Syd Barrett saw that and just juxtaposed the names Pink Floyd.
That's why the question still remains, which one's pink?
Pink Anderson and Floyd Council are both Carolina bluesmen. Pink Anderson was from South Carolina, and Floyd Council was from North Carolina.
But there's a lot of gravestones and headstones in here.
The Floyd Council Memorial Project is just that. It's a project. It's not just buying a headstone. It's clearing out a graveyard that's been abandoned for at least 30 years. Nobody even knows what the name of the graveyard is. That's how irrelevant it's become. It's sad. We do know that Floyd was not buried in the potter's field, which is where the indigents were buried. Those guys with no money, etc., etc. They were buried back there where nobody could see them. I mean, look at this jungle. Thorns and vines and underbrush, new trees and snakes, and who knows what else. And another tough part of the project is this, finding the actual burial spot.
We'll walk that cemetery and figure out where his mom's at. His mom is in an unmarked grave, is in a marked grave. Her council is in a marked grave. And they're not laying next to each other,
But where he is beyond me.
we should be able to triangulate from his mama's grave within, with a high degree of accuracy where Floyd is.
So Bullfrog is trying to get the help from all the people in Raleigh to clear all this out with backhoes and chainsaws and weed eaters and dump trucks and all that kind of thing. And
it's Bullfrog's life's work to try and raise enough money to clear this abandoned graveyard and give Floyd Council the respect he deserves. And that goes for the others buried here as well. And the talk is that Bullfrog has a headstone already reserved for Floyd, but there's a small issue. This project may take around $20,000 to complete, and this means trucks, chainsaws, weed eaters, and manpower. Through a fundraising website called Indiegogo.com, the project has raised about $400 so far. Bullfrog has done radio interviews, television interviews, newspaper interviews, anything to get the word out to people that might want to help. From time to time, he plays at Amplified Art and other places, and he has a few CDs for sale recorded by himself and blues stars Tad Walters, Lightning Wells, and Boo Hanks. These live performances and CDs are fundraisers for the project, the Floyd Council Memorial Project.
he's buried right here in this, somewhere. And Bullfrog knows exactly where it is. Floyd Council Jr. lives here, who is Floyd Council's son, and he was a former truck driver, and he lives in Sanford somewhere, and he came out one day and pointed out where his father was buried. And it's somewhere, look at that mess, somewhere right in here. I mean, isn't that pretty stupid that the Pink Floyd namesake doesn't have a headstone? That's stupid.